Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to race number 11 of Season 8 of the NNSCRA Mobil1 Cup Series, continuing on the second half of the regular season, the chase to the chase, and we are here at Michigan for the running of the Ollie's Bargain Outlet 250. I'm being joined here in the commentator's booth by Michael Norman. Michael, thanks for being here.
No problem. It is always fun to come up in the booth and watch, especially since I'm the team owner and not an actual driver, so there doesn't have to be a clone of me racing.
Exactly, you're able to see your drivers in action here, and we're here at Michigan, a track which is really known for its high speeds, but this track that we're at, this is the revamped 2009 track, and we're going to see a little bit of interesting stuff going on here that we don't normally see in speedway racing. What are you expecting to see in today's race?
Well, for the nationwide series style racing for cars, they're with the bodies and stuff here in the Mobil1 series. It's actually going to be pretty cool because I'd expect to see 3-4 wide racing because these cars can use the draft on the straightaways to help catch up to the car in front of them and set them up in time to pass them going in the corners. So this should definitely be an exciting race, and I just can't wait to see who's going to come out on top of all this.
This will certainly be a learning curve for these drivers too, because it's the first time we've actually ever come to this version of Michigan, and a lot of these drivers take part in the Snickers Cup series where you basically, with the chase format we have now, you have to win to get in. So a lot of drivers may utilize what they learn here today in the Snickers race tomorrow. As Zach Hamlin is on the pole position, a rookie out of the RPM Motorsports team, and he comes in here as the rookie points leader as well, third in overall points, so a good opportunity for him starting up here on the front row.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question, please? I was being talked to.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just continue on. I was just mentioning about Zach Hamlin on the pole, and he's going to have to his outside Chris Washer. Now, Zach Hamlin, I just said, is third in the points. Chris Washer, however, is 36th in points. So certainly a contrast of interests here of drivers starting on the front row. With that being said, up here at the front, how hard do you think we're going to see them racing early on?
Well, it's much like a super speedway. If you get put to the outside line, unless you have a good run, you're going to go to the back. So I'd like to see him race. I'd like to see him race, but they'll race hard. But when it comes to trying like stupid moves, I hope we don't see a lot of them and just see some good and front bumper and side by side and 3-wide racing.
Alright, so let's get these cars rolling off here. They're going to complete a pace lap here as they roll off of pit road. That'll give us time to kind of document some of the stuff coming into this race. First off, Levi McIntyre, winner at Talladega. This is the closest opportunity the drivers have had to actually try and take the points lead away from him. Levi McIntyre only 5 points up on Charles Jackson coming into today's race, only 9 up on Zach Hamlin. So we could see Michigan be a bit of a point shaker and put a new driver atop the point stands. Another thing that I need to quickly mention here, and it was pointed out to me last week after we left Thornton, Ricky Falcon is not in this field due to the fact that at some particular point when these races were done, the game had actually reset itself back and set my player profile to the 1 car. So the 1 car for the next few weeks is actually not going to be on track. To make up for that, Ricky Falcon, every race that he does not start, gets a default 15th place finish, which gives him 28 points every single week. So just letting everybody know that in case you're wondering where that 1 car is. He's not on track due to Enter 2003 resetting itself and my not realizing it.
Which affects me because that's my car.
Right, but hey, Ricky Falcon's 12th in points, and if he gets 28 points, a 15th place finish for the next 3 or 4 weeks, we could actually have a driver who doesn't even race half the season maybe get into the chase via top 10 in points. I mean, it's mathematically possible. That would be
incredible.
That'd be a first.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty dang cool.
So we'll have to see if that's going to be the case. As we're getting ready here for Michigan Racing. Pace car is about to peel off, and I'm going to let Michael take us to the green.
Alright, we're coming down the straightaway, and the pace car's in. We're getting ready for some 3 and 4 wide action. Here we go. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Drivers, let's go 3 and 4 wide racing.
And it's going to be interesting to see here, especially with a double file start, just how anxious they'll be to get into those 3 and 4 wide situations. This track can hold them 4 wide, but it's got to be a spacious 4 wide. They can't be leaning on each other.
Absolutely.
They're already
This
trying it
track is
back there,
probably
and
going to
oh,
be
they
slick.
messed up. There's Sean Henley's around, I think.
Oh boy.
Yep, Henley is
I was
spun.
just about to.
That's the
I was just
21
about to
of
say this
Gene
track is very
Sanford.
slick.
Joe
Just about to say this
Davis.
track is very slick early on, so it's wasn't very surprising to see this. It's Sean, you see Sean Henley.
And you know, you kind of expect it to. I mean, double wide start off, they're more than likely going to wreck. They're going to bunch up. When we get to a single file restarts, hopefully they'll be able to keep it together for longer. But we actually got
Yeah,
away with something there. We only had basically 3 cars spin out, and it didn't really look like any of them came away with that much damage. Oh wait, they think somebody else just spun. Yeah, Caleb Farrell and Jessica Shelton, and I think Stephen Paul III all spun up here, but they don't have a damage either.
that's good. See, they're getting away with that. Michigan's wide enough to get away with incidents like that. It's only when a car comes back up across the racetrack that we'll see cars get a lot of damage.
Good point, but we do have one driver that has had to teleport to pit road. Sean Galligan, former Mobil Cup Series champ, he's got a lot of damage, and so does James Silverfox. So apparently, we were not lucky enough to get away with everybody not having damage, and they're going to
Pit
pit
stops
this early.
happening.
Okay, so interesting here. I mean, if we do go into a long green flag run, these drivers could be already planning for the finish of this race as far as fuel strategy.
Absolutely. It's the Michigan's always been a fuel mileage race, no matter what. So they're just trying to plan ahead to make sure that they have enough fuel at the end to see if they can make it. It's all going to come down to strategy.
And I'm not rightly sure if they backed up on the back straightaway or what, but I saw the points leader Levi McIntyre with a buckle on his hood. I also saw, looked like was a little bit of damage on the front of Trent Dunham's car. You see him coming to his pit stall, so they may have actually backed up on the back straightaway. But Zach Hamlin's pit stop is complete. A couple of drivers stayed out, though. We'll document that when we come back. Let's take a look at a replay of our first caution of the day at Michigan. And this takes place not too far back from the front of the field. 4 wide situation. Kyle Matthews, second in points Charles Jackson, Sean Henley, and Bob Jones, and they just ran out of room.
As you hear the famous ding, that means that there's a caution. But it's a yeah. When you run out of racing room, you can't scream, "Get out of my way!" So this just inevitably happens.
And there you see right there, that's where the 60 of Levi McIntyre, the points leader, actually got his damage from. Got into, I think that was Joe Davis, and that's what gave him that little buckle on the hood of his machine. But as you can see, 3
What about
cars
Sean
basically
Galligan?
spinning. Yeah, let's actually look and see if we can find out, because that was a lot harder of a hit.
Well, they're all in the pack right here.
They're all bunched up here. You see Justin Talampas on the apron, Dylan Young and Anthony McCurry on the apron, and oh, maybe this is how Trent Dunham's going to get his damage too, perhaps. Let's see. They're
They're spread
they're
out
almost
right
5
here.
wide.
I was about to say that. They look 5 wide. Oh yeah, look, there goes Trent. Comes right up into. Look like Trent kind of got a little sideways right there.
Let's try and see where this actually is triggered. Silver Fox is actually up on the high side there behind Bob Fergus.
It might be on a backup. Like this whole pack might started a backing up to try to get single file, and they just ran into each other.
The wreck we know took place just almost either almost at the start finish line or just past it over into turn 1. They're coming up on Levi McIntyre there, and we know McIntyre was damaged. I wonder if maybe he backs them all up or something, because he's up ahead of all
Yeah,
these guys.
You see
Oh,
Shelton
there
on
it
the
is.
outside there.
Oh, teammates got together. The 42 turned the 34 up into the wall, and they come right down in front of Galligan.
Yep.
That was just a racing deal there, but then I think they're going to come back up into traffic or something, because somehow Galligan had a lot of damage. Oh, that's what happened. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I saw that coming too. Right up into traffic. Who else did they get away with that?
They got away with it, but I did see them actually kind of like leaning on each other there. You see Pollard and Shelton, they were all squeezing up onto the high side to avoid that, and they were all like 4 and 5 wide, and that's how the 9 and the 89 got together.
Yeah. There's racing, and there's ding again.
So that's what happened. Looks like we had a little bit of contact between teammates. That started to spin down towards the grass, and then everybody's just trying to get some real estate up high to avoid, and then Pollard and Shelton get spun around. But it looks like the only 2 that really got the most damage out of anything we just saw here were the James Silverfox and Sean Galligan machines with that hard hit into the inside wall. But we're going to rally them all up, see who stayed out, see who pitted, and head back to green. Getting ready to go back to green. Danny Wells is going to be the leader. He decided to stay out. So did Tim Walsh. He's second. Chris Washer runs in third. Fourth, Cody Lamas. Fifth, Nick Smith. Sixth place is going to be L.J. Mills with Charles Jackson back in seventh. Then it's Tristan Folks, Jordan Davis, and Wolfgang Mason. That is the top 10. The first of the drivers to pit was Zach Hamlin. He's going to restart all the way back in 18th place. So 17 cars decided to stay out. Now, if this thing goes into a long green flag run, they could be into trouble.
With 17 cars on a different fuel strategy than the others, this could make for a very interesting finish if we do indeed get that long green flag run.
Already, drivers diving down to the bottom. Cody Lamas making it 3 wide under Chris Washer and Tim Walsh there. And hopefully, with them having a single file restart here, we're going to at least get some good green flag laps in and see what these drivers can do, because we know they can hold 4 wide. It's just a matter of them not leaning on each other.
Yeah, we have to see how these cars, especially with the way these cars are handling. You know, they only got 1 lap, not even a 1 lap in. And so if we can get a good enough run, these drivers will be able to figure out how their cars are going to handle and be ready to make their adjustments when they do come to pit road.
You see on the inside line there, the One Main Financial Toyota, that's Charles Jackson. We know he got a little bit of damage from that incident with Sean Henley and company, because he was in that 4-wide situation where they were leading on each other, but apparently that didn't really affect him. As a matter of fact, he's up here in this top 10, and what Jackson's trying to do is take away the points lead from Levi McIntyre. Look at Nick Smith move Chris Washer up the track.
Yep, that Sega you heard was the noise that it makes whenever something is about to happen.
Nick Smith just unceremoniously moved Washer up the track. That was a nice save by Chris, but man, they're racing side by side right here, and this is an interesting thing too. We're seeing that the inside line doesn't necessarily mean you're going to take the top spot. Danny Wells hanging on there on that outside line, getting a little bit of help there from L.J. Mills.
Yeah, if your car is hooked up as good as Danny Wells is, you can get a good run off the corner, but now it looks like the 6 has finally cleared him.
Yep, going to finally take away that spot is Cody Lamas, and Lamas been having a rather struggling season, and that 6 machine comes into this race currently sitting as I'm looking at the point standings. Oh, wait a minute. Where is he in points? Can't even find him. Okay, he's 26th in points, so, you know, having a rather mediocre season, but it could all change here. As a matter of fact, he's got a win at a Speedway and Truck Series this season. That came in Atlanta, and so apparently he's really good at these tracks where speed is key.
Speed is always key. That was a Jacksepticeye reference.
Right behind him is Danny Wells. There's Tristan Folks. Now, he's actually battling with Nick Smith right now for the 3rd position. Looks like he's going to keep it. Tristan Folks has actually been kind of coming to life in the past few weeks. He ended up winning the Mobil1 Cup Series event at Dover, and he finds himself now all the way up in the point standings in the position of 6th, when he at one point was actually down outside of the top 25 in points. So this team has really turned their season around, and right now, with an opportunity maybe to pick up their 2nd win of the season, it'd be the first time this season we'd have a repeat winner.
Yeah, I was going to have to wait and see how these cars are going to handle this Michigan. So anything can happen with the way how these cars run and handle.
Nick Smith right behind them in 4th place. Now, Nick Smith actually had a great run in the Truck Series race, but that race was at Pocono, but still continuing on some good success here, running 4th place here in the Mobil1 Cup Series event. And there's Carson Gum, another driver who actually has been having a stellar season. Carson Gum coming back full-time in the 77, and Carson comes in 10th in points. So we're seeing here drivers utilizing that caution to stay out, get track position. A lot of drivers that are running well in points, trying to keep themselves consistently up in the top 10.
Yeah, is that the caution?
Oh, that is a caution.
Yeah, I was going to say, that looked like the caution was out. Wonder what happened.
Oh, wow. We got a lot of cars back here. Bob Fergus. Oh, the pole sitter, Zach Hamlin's in it. Looks like Jake Rogers, Andy Timmons. Looks like McCrory may have been involved. James McLeod is in it. Sean Henley, Caleb Farrell. Well, we had a big wreck. We must have. Dylan Young, Matthew Dalio. Bob Jones is damaged. This was a big, big wreck, and I don't even know who it started with, but there's more drivers collected there. Justin Talampas in the 38. This was a big wreck, and it must have happened mid-pack because I didn't even see it happen. And interestingly, Cody Lamas and Tristan Falks are going to stay out. Tim Walsh is going to stay out again, too. Drivers coming to make their pit stops, so we'll jump back, see what happened. Apparently this happened right near the start-finish line. Big wreck involving a lot of drivers. Puts us under caution for the second time here today at Michigan. Well, this happened just outside of the top 10, actually. This was a battle, according to the scoring monitor, for the 12th position. I think it was a little bit further back, though, and you're going to see James McLeod. He's going to get hooked right there by Nick Alton. Alton actually turns McLeod right down into his teammate Bob Fergus, straight up into the outside wall, and this is when it starts to pile up. Make that, oh boy, I just messed up on the name. Zach Hamlin, that's who it is. Got into the 18. There you see Talampas. Jacob Lawler gets a piece of it. Here comes Andy Timmons, and then just there's a smoke screen. Nobody can see where to go. Dylan Young, Mason Wood. Hamlin's car actually gets airborne. There's McCrory, Pollard, Rogers, London, Henley, Davis. Timmons' car gets in the air. Bob Jones gets rear-ended by Caleb Farrell. It's just a mess on the front straightaway.
Yeah, car almost flipping over. Is that the 43, right?
Yeah, that's the 43 of Hamlin. Timmons got airborne, gets airborne again after a hit from Dalio. That's Kyle Matthews in the 70 involved. That was a lot of drivers.
Okay, now that I'm hopefully back alone in the living room. Yeah, that's definitely a lot of drivers on the front stretch, all from somebody just sliding up into somebody.
And it caused just a huge smoke screen there, just nowhere for anybody to go.
Yeah.
And this is huge because this involves a number of drivers who are running well in points. Hamlin came in third in points. Shelton was fifth. Jake Rogers was seventh. Talampas was eighth. So this, like I said at the top of the program, this could be a point shaker of a track, and right now it's proving it very well could be. As we're under the caution for the second time today, a really big wreck putting us under the yellow. Let's head back to green. Getting ready to go back to green. We are past the halfway point. Cody Lamas decided to stay out. He's the leader. Tristan Falk second. Tim Walsh is third. And fourth is Stephen Pollard the third. Those four drivers did not come to pit road under this caution. So as far as I am sure, I believe the 6 and the 32 have not been to pit road at all this race yet. Danny Wells is fifth. Sixth, Nick Smith. Carson Gumbs 7th, 8th, LJ Mills, then it'll be Jordan Davis and Nick Alton, who actually, or Andreas Allen rather, that will start in 10th, and Nick Alton, who actually triggered that wreck, is going to restart in 11th. Green flag back out here.
Well, you know, I was going to hold off till the end to say this, but I guess I'll go ahead and do it now.
Okay, go right ahead.
Before something else happens. Okay, so I just want to make the announcement that on the final races of the Oreo Truck season, when the chase starts, the final 10 races, I will be stepping out of that 3 truck, and my girlfriend Jessica Villanueva, I think that's how you say it, will be stepping in to the number 3 Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet Silverado for the remainder of the season, and has been signed for season 9 if the truck series will be back.
All right, so a little preview there of what's going to be happening here later on this season, and it's not going to take these drivers long to get to that chase either, so that'll be happening sooner than you think.
Oh yeah, the top 3 kind of broke away there, but now they're kind of getting caught back up by the other pack that's behind him. As Cody Lamas, I was trying to say that he's got some kind of strategy going, especially for not pitting yet.
And here they come.
So he's going to try to.
Yep.
Yep. Never mind.
I was going to say, yeah, because the 6, the 22, and the 32 hadn't been to pit road at all, and now they're finally going to come down here. But this could cost them, because now it looks like Pollard's actually on pit road as well. This really could cost those 3 for staying out that long. We could end up having this thing go into a long green flag run now. They'd be trapped a lap down regardless of whether the caution came out or not.
Yeah, definitely. That's not a good thing, but I guess they had something on their mind that they think is going to happen.
They definitely are betting on a long green flag run if this is what their strategy is, because they're coming in and pitting around lap 17. We know then that they can make it the rest of the way on fuel. They just got to hope that that yellow flag doesn't rear its ugly head, or else their chances of getting a good finish here today it's not going to happen.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how things play out. Maybe, hopefully, they'll play out good for them.
It's interesting too. I look at two of those three drivers who actually stayed out. Cody Lamas actually used some fuel strategy at Dover in the Snickers Cup Series race. Came from a lap down to finish second because he stayed out when everybody else pitted. And then also Tristan Foltz played some fuel strategy in the Mobil1 Cup Series race at that same track at Dover. So, they were successful in the fuel strategy game at one track. Maybe they're going to try it again here at Michigan.
Absolutely.
And I find it kind of ironic here. Nick Alton, the one that triggered that huge pileup when he got into James McLeod, he's running at full song up here in the second position. The guy who caused the biggest wreck of the day could maybe walk away with his first win. And whoa, teammates there out of Kyle Busch Motorsports. That was the 77 and the 54 getting together. They almost wrecked each other.
Wow, that was very close.
Carson Gum running top 10 in points. LJ Mills, 15th in points, a winner this season back at Charlotte. Last thing they want is to wreck each other. And I'm also seeing another driver up here that really needs a good run, and that's the 28 of Jordan Davis. He's dead last in points. It's nice to see that 28 Texaco Haviland Ford having a good run here.
Yeah, exactly. He's having a great run.
And we've been talking about drivers that have been struggling that are running well in points. Well, one driver that's not struggling, I've actually seen him now finally making an appearance up here. I think he's now in 5th. That's Dylan Thoreau in the 23. So Thoreau finally making his way up here. Was the rookie points leader and overall points leader for a number of weeks. Lost the points lead to Levi McIntyre at Talladega. Now trying to work his way back up here to the points lead. And we may have a good battle for the lead here on our hands. Danny Wells has it. Jordan Davis trying to get a run to his inside.
Yeah.
Oh, man, Nick Alton almost wrecked Danny Wells there. Moves him up the racetrack.
There's got a good little gaggle of cars here. You never know what's going to happen. As the 28, as you see now, is fully taking the lead here. Let's see how these cars can suck up to one another and see if they can't get another pass going.
And we got a lap car up ahead, too. This could make very, very dicey situation. I think that may be either the 42 of Caleb Farrell or the 12 of Matthew Dallio. I saw both of them off the pace on that restart. And it is Farrell in the 42. Let's see if they are able to get around him. Dallio just ahead as well.
Well, it's like so far good, but it looks like the 7 car might be getting held up there.
7 and the 5 of Danny Wells, they're getting held up.
Good battle for the lead here.
Yeah, but this could be the trouble spot. Andreas Allen still held up. Well, they got through. I think we're good.
Yep. That was shaping up because they had to take it 3 wide, actually, because when they were getting around the 12 of Matthew Daly, they had to take it 3 wide. And I think it was the 28 that was getting the run underneath the old Dollar General Toyota.
And now because of those lap machines, we now have a 3-car breakaway at the front of the field, and we're getting close here. We're going to have 5 to go when we hit the stripe.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be close with these top 3.
And right now, they are again catching another lap machine, well, not lap machine, but soon-to-be lap machine, trying to see if I can find out who exactly that is. Can't make it out there. It's still too far away, but if they encounter him, that could bring those other guys behind him. That's Dylan Thoreau, LJ Mills right up here, make it a 5-6 car fight for the win.
Yeah, well, I have to see, especially just like you said, if these cars start passing. I think though that is going to require just a little bit of drafting help to try to, going down the straightaways to try to make a pass.
One Ford Mustang trying to hold off 2 Toyota Camrys, one out of JGR, the other one out of Kyle Busch Motorsports. But right now, how would it be for Jordan Davis, dead last in points, to be able to pick up a victory here? I mean, the fact is, he does have to get his season going. He needs a win to maybe get some consistent fish to get up in a wild card spot, but the first key thing is to get that win. If he could do that here today, that'd be a huge Cinderella story at Michigan.
Absolutely. As I see, we're coming up on another lap car.
I'm trying to see who that is.
Perfect for him.
Let's see if we can get into this camera angle. Okay, that's Stephen Pollard III, who actually, I believe, is up to speed. He is back here because he, along with those 3 drivers, Cody Lamas, Tristan Folks, and Tim Walsh, they all ended up having to come to pit road just after we went under the restart. So he is up to speed. He's not a slower car, but he is going to go a lap down, looks like.
What a tough time, too, is right at the end of a race.
And look at this. Looks like they didn't quite get around him very quickly, and here comes those other drivers fourth on back, maybe to catch up to these guys.
Yeah, and with the side-by-side race, and that should create for a good battle for the lead here.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, we got a couple of drivers who've just jumped up here into this group. Charles Jackson all of a sudden is back up to 6th, and Dylan Poteet, our winner from Thornton last week, is now up into the 7th position.
That's definitely a good, consistent run for Dylan for Poteet. He definitely is showing his worth here at Michigan.
Both these drivers going to benefit if they're able to finish where they are right now. Poteet, after his win last week, moved up to 11th in points. He now would move into the top 10. Charles Jackson would take the points line. I think the caution is out. I think this is the race to the win. The caution lights are on.
Sure. It looks like Jordan Davis is going to get it.
Yes, he is. Smoke right there at the start-finish line. Something happened heading into 1, and Jordan Davis, whether he'd have been able to hold him off or not, he's going to win this race under caution, taking the yellow and the white flag at the same time. The guy who comes in dead last in Mobil1 Cup Series points is going to victory lane here at Michigan.
That is truly an awesome feat for these guys. Congratulations.
And how about this, too? The guy that started the biggest wreck of the day is going to finish 2nd. Pretty interesting irony here, but I'll tell you, a couple of surprises up there. And another good outing for the Kyle Busch Motorsports team. Both their drivers finished well last week at Thornton. Both their drivers going to lead with top 5s here today at Michigan. That team's actually been really good this season.
Yeah, it has really. You never know. It's just like I said, you never know what's going to happen. Anything is possible at super speedway tracks.
Well, coming down here to the start-finish line, the caution flag out, checkered flag is waving, and Jordan Davis is going to come across the stripe and pick up the victory. Jordan Davis wins here at Michigan in the O'Reilly Bargain Outlet 250.
Congratulations.
And I don't rightly know what that caution flag came out for, but the thing is, really it doesn't matter, because it had no significance up here at the front of the field, nor in the win of this event. So we are not going to be looking back at a replay of what exactly went on. Probably, if you look in the finishing results, you'll be able to deduce who it was that actually wrecked, but I don't know who it was for certain. But the end result is Jordan Davis going to victory lane. And Michael, I want to thank you for joining me here today for this race.
No problem, anytime, man. It's always fun to come up in the commentary booth. Now, I got to get my rear end gear and get ready for the Snickers Cup race, and hopefully be able to pull off a win here, just much like I did the win at Auto Club.
Yeah, Michael Norman going to be looking for his 2nd win of the season, and I'm not going to ask you to divulge us, but have you been able to take any notes from this race that you might apply tomorrow?
Fuel strategy and staying up front.
All right, we'll see if that's possible here for the 3-car tomorrow, as he'll be trying to look for his 2nd win of the season, joining the ranks of Trent Dunham and Sean Galligan, and securing himself a spot in the chase for the championship. So hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. Also be sure to subscribe to Michael's channel, McKinleyman93. Link to his channel is in the description. Also be sure to also follow the NNSCRA Racing Series on social media, on Facebook and Twitter. The links to those accounts are in the description as well. Once again, Michael, I want to thank you. Yeah, it's actually really cool. Okay, so I want to thank you once more, Michael, for joining me here.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, guys.
See all you guys next time.
Here comes your full finish results and points heading into next week. We'll finish up the weekend here with the Snickers Cup Series race at Michigan as you've been watching production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.